Hello and welcome back to Georgetown. Today I would like to tell you about a collection that is among my most prized possessions. No, it is not my collection of glitter jewellery, that's next week. It is instead my collection of Pokémon Cards. Topical. I am Georgetown. No kidding, I properly love Pokémon Cards. I was beside myself between the ages of like 8 and 10 because I got to play around with things like this. Weedle. Fabulous. I, like pretty much everyone of my age at that time, would go around the school playground trading with other kids, and it taught me many things. The first of which is that I'm very good at conning people when there's something in it for me. I did buy a few of these cards, but there's more than 1,000 of them, and I definitely didn't buy that many. Look at them all. They're lovely. Oh my goodness. I was only ever really interested in the base set, the first 102 cards. As with Power Rangers, as soon as they started doing Turbo Mega Rangers, I was just like, nah, forget it then. Well, that and all schools banned these in the end because people like me made other kids cry by being better than them. Let me show you a few of my favourites. There is only one place to begin with my collection, and that is Charmander. I thought it was somehow amusing to collect Charmander cards, and so I have dozens of them. Whenever people were trading with me, I would decide on a trade, and then I'd just say at the end, oh, and by the way, you've got to throw in all your Charmanders. So I've got hundreds of them. I don't know why. I like Charmander a great deal. Lovely little fire dragon with a tail and a kind of a pensive, thoughtful expression, but not a good card. Low stats. I don't know. I just thought it was funny. There's hundreds of them. Look at them all. Each as identical as the last. In fact, fire Pokemon cards in general I just found thrilling. I have so many of them. I think that relates somehow to the fact that I liked setting things on fire. I was a boy. I don't know what you expect. It was just such a joy to be in possession of so many pretty things. I mean, I just really like the artwork. Look at that Machop. He's a character, isn't he? Oh, a colourful little fellow who, with the right cultivation, would eventually grow into an absolutely terrifying beast. The Pikachu there, which of course everyone thought was the best one, but it actually isn't. It's rubbish. It's a sparky little mouse, and that's all. I don't know what they were thinking. Electricity is the enemy of the rodent. Mice die by biting through cables. They do not imbibe electricity and become super beings. That's not how it works. It's intellectually incoherent. The rubbishest element is the psychic type cards, which are purple and feature such losers as Drowsy and Abra, who has only 30 HP, which is rubbish. I've got 30 HP, come on Abra, step up. Some of the green ones are quite good, like Nidoran. Looks like the kind of animal you might actually see in real life. And Tangela, which just looks like food with boots on. And then there are all these good things like trainer cards, which aren't a monster at all. They are like medicines and special abilities to be used in the game, which of course no one ever really played. It was all about just collecting them and mugging off the other kids. But there's some good ones, like Potion. Remove up to 2 damage counters from one of your Pokemon. That's probably good. Gust of Wind. Choose one of your opponent's benched Pokemon and switch it with his or her active Pokemon. There's a picture of a confused Weedle. That sounds like just toss about with your friends. Ruin their fun, it'll be fun for you. Professor Oak, or as I like to call it, Stern Man. Discard your hand, then draw 7 cards. Knife not included. And then energy cards, which are essentially useless unless you play the game, but I just find them kind of aesthetically pleasing. They come in all the different colours, and so on. Just nice things to have, I like them. And that's really the thing with all of this, it's completely useless. There is no possible utility to any of these objects, but they're just lovely. Like all great art, they are totally futile. Squirtle sounds rude. Anyhow, and then in the special folder with plastic wallets inside, all the amazing magical cards that are more important than these ones for no reason at all. Some of these are shiny and or have little stars in the bottom corner, which means they're rare, although it's irrelevant. I'll tell you a story about this one. Okay, this is Dark Doug Trio, which I got in some sort of special booster pack just before I gave up on the whole thing. There was a shop near my school where we all used to go to buy sweets and things after school. It was called Cloud9, and they took to selling and trading Pokemon cards. Now, they had a folder a lot like this one in which they kept all their cards, and it had prices on each card, but if you wanted to, you could trade in your cards for double their value. So you could buy them for one price, or you could trade them and get double the price. And it struck me as an excitable 11-year-old, that here was an opportunity to make some money. I thought, I'll take my pristine, mint condition Dark Doug trio and I'll trade it for double its value. Maybe I'll get 2 Dark Doug trios. Then what should I do? I know, I'll trade 2 Dark Doug trios for 4 cards of equivalent value, and then I'll trade them for 8, and then very soon I will own the shop, I thought. And of course I went in and I tried this on and they went, oh no, we're not doing that. And I said, well, it says right there that that's what you do. And they were like, nah, we're not doing that. I don't know what I expected would happen, but it taught me this lesson. People don't do stuff that will ruin them, even if they've promised that they will. People do stuff if it's good for them, and that's an end of it. It's sad, but it's true. Speaking of sad but true, there is a card down here which taught me an awful lot about privilege. No, really, it did. This card is an Alakazam. It was the first ever shiny special card that I received from a booster pack bought from a shop, and it was genuinely my pride and joy. Now, in the village in Devon where I lived with my 2 sisters and my mother and father, there was an abandoned railway carriage. I kid you not, an abandoned railway carriage just down the road, and a girl called Kathy lived there with her dad. And Kathy would come over to our house and play with us, and that was fine, although she was sort of weird and different, and I didn't know how to relate to her. And she was very lovely, but she was sort of sad and smelled funny and stuff, which is fine, but I did not know what to do with that. So we would go out sort of skateboarding and she would come with us, and that was just fine. But one day I showed her all my nice Pokémon cards and I went, oh, this is really exciting, isn't it? I've got all these Pokémon cards and some of them are shiny, and I showed her my Alakazam, and she thought that was really exciting. And when I next opened my box of Pokémon cards, it was gone. And it turned out that she had taken it because she didn't have amazing stuff and a cool life like me. She lived in a railway carriage and she didn't know what to do about the fact that she really wanted something that she didn't have. And I genuinely learnt something from that. And it came back to me in the end, but as you could see, it was all sort of messed up and I was sad about that, but then I was much more sad about the fact that I was sad about it. Anyway, moving on. Here's a misleading fellow. Shiny Machamp. Everyone has a shiny Machamp because it was the special card that came with like the first beginner's pack that you would buy if you wanted to start a collection. Everyone has one, literally everyone. It's the least rare card, but it still goes in my folder. And then there's one down here which I'm fairly sure is fake. I think someone's printed this one on their computer at home because it looks all sort of rubbish. But it says edition 1 on it, which I'm sure is a good thing, probably. Actually, the one next to it looks rubbish as well. I wonder where I got that. Oh well, they're worthless anyway, but I like them. They're pretty. They make me happy, and you can't put a price on that. No, no, no. Do you have Pokemon cards hidden under your bed or in your attic? Get them out and make a video in response to this and tell me about them and what you like about them and what stories they remind you of. Or leave a comment or whatever you like. I'll be back soon. I'm out to catch 'em all. I'm not. I haven't got Pokemon Go. I've got Android. It's depressing. Genuinely don't know what to do with myself. It's really sunny and lovely out there as well. I've just been going outside, like, using my imagination and stuff. It's rubbish. Oh well, you gotta take what you got and do the best you can with it. That's the lesson here. Please click like on this video. It's been really helping me lately. And leave a comment and say hi. I love speaking to you guys. Until next time, I've been George and you've been great. Cheerio. Messy.